Today, we're going to talk about the 14 best investment tips to help you take care of your money and live without working, with the last tip being the most important and surprising. These investment tips are for everyone, regardless of your financial knowledge level, and they're clear, simple, but valuable. Welcome to our channel dedicated to prosperity and finance. If your goal is to get rich, subscribe right now to start your journey to success. Number 1. The foundation of your financial freedom should be your job. In this first tip, I want to clarify a concept. Achieving financial freedom is more like building a wall, brick by brick, day after day, than winning the lottery by chance. It's important to understand that the path to financial freedom is a long-term journey. This is because it's very rare to find the perfect investment that will make you rich. It can happen, but it's not common. Everyone would like to have bought Apple or Amazon stocks in 2002 or Coca-Cola stocks in 1987. These opportunities may appear in your investment journey, but if they don't, it's okay. They're not essential to achieving financial freedom. I want to make this clear because otherwise you might feel frustrated or sad. We live in an era of speed, social media, the era of "I want it now," where building a wealth that allows you to be financially independent takes time. Therefore, your job will be, for much of your life, the foundation of your financial freedom. And when I talk about work, I mean your main economic activity, whether you're an employee, self-employed, or own your own business. Accumulating a wealth that generates a decent passive income takes time, and in the early years, you'll earn more money and more quickly from your work. It's important to note that ideally, you should own your own business, strive to improve your professional situation, and be your own boss. The next step to achieve financial independence is to save most of the income you earn from your main occupation. This is essential. The third point, as I've mentioned several times on the channel, is just working and saving doesn't make anyone rich. It's necessary to invest, so work, saving, and investing are the three fundamental pillars. Subsequently, the gains from your investments can be reinvested in new financial resources, which in turn will produce more gains, generating a virtuous cycle due to the effect of compound interest. So remember these 4 steps well: main occupation, work, saving, investment, and reinvestment. Number 2. On your journey to financial independence, it's crucial to understand the difference between investing and speculating. The main difference is that when you invest, you're looking for a continuous return over time, long-term benefits like rents or stock dividends. Speculation, on the other hand, aims for short-term profits. To illustrate, think about this: nothing lasts forever. In the 80s, many entrepreneurs made a lot of money with arcades and video rental stores, a profitable business renting VHS and DVD movies. Nowadays, living off this type of business is almost impossible. So even if you believe your business is foolproof, remember the decline of Blockbuster, once a leading global video rental chain with valuable stocks. In 2004, it had 9,000 stores worldwide. 18 years later, only one remains in Oregon as a nostalgic tourist spot. Nothing is permanent. No business or investment strategy is fail-proof. And like in life, what matters in the end are personal circumstances, phases, and cycles. Even with a great business idea, your personal situation can change drastically. It's not the same being 30 years old, single and childless, able to dedicate 12 or 14 hours a day to your business, as it is 3 years later, married, with children and dependents, when you might only be able to work 6 hours a day from Monday to Friday, and some nights you might only sleep 4 hours. So if your business and personal circumstances are going well, make the most of it and use your money wisely. So my suggestion is that if things are going well, if you have a good financial boost, don't spend the principal capital. Instead, use it as an initial investment, applying it intelligently. What you can spend are the returns from this initial investment, and if you want to be even more prudent, spend only the returns on the returns from that capital. As you can imagine, implementing this strategy takes time. But once the snowball starts rolling and compound interest kicks in, everything becomes faster and easier. So the main point here is to use money from good financial times as an initial investment, thus ensuring that prosperity is always present in your life. Do you agree? Let's move on to point number 3. It's a classic saying, nobody has a crystal ball. You must accept that no one can predict the future, that no investor, analyst, or expert gets all their analyses or predictions right, not even you, no matter how much knowledge you acquire. So, grasp this concept well. The only one who is never wrong is the market. The market is always correct. Number 4. Make your own analyses. Many people invest based on a news they saw on TV or influenced by a comment from a neighbor or relative. In my opinion, it's important to be aware and pay attention to all the information, but there's something even better, which is to make your own analyses. For that, I recommend that you expand your financial knowledge to the maximum. Currently, you can acquire financial knowledge from various sources. By expanding your financial knowledge, you'll be able to be more selective with the information you receive, thus being able to make your own analyses and decisions regarding investments. Number 5. Responsibility. You shouldn't expect someone else to make you rich. Remember this concept well. No one will take care of your money better than you. That's why my advice is not to rely entirely on a manager, financial advisor, or representative. Don't hand over 100% of your resources to others. It's much wiser to learn how to manage your capital and delegate certain tasks to different people, but always understanding the subject well. And why do I say this? Let me explain. Even if you have a manager taking care of your company's finances, I recommend also keeping an eye on your business's accounting to verify. Don't blindly trust anyone, as that person may become indispensable in your life, and you risk becoming dependent on them, or worse, they do a bad job and you suffer the consequences. Like, for example, poor tax management that causes problems with the IRS. This brings us to the next point. Number 6. Don't trust anyone who promises to make you rich, but also don't expect any investment system to make you a millionaire. This means you shouldn't put all your hopes in trendy courses to sell on the internet or in investments in popular digital assets. Usually, when something seems too good to be true, it often isn't. In your journey as an investor, it's important to learn to differentiate between solid opportunities and passing fads. This can prevent many frustrations on the path to financial freedom, so be skeptical of miracle solutions. Number 7. Self-protection. It's advisable to invest only in financial assets that you fully understand. So protect yourself and avoid actions you don't understand. Remember that money can be recovered. I've often seen that once confidence in investments is lost due to fraud or financial bubbles, it's very difficult to restore. And without investing, it's almost impossible to achieve financial freedom. If, when investing in an asset, you hesitate and have doubts, it means you still don't have enough information about it. So don't worry, let it pass and invest in what brings you more security, as other opportunities will come. Number 8. Use debt wisely. Always keep control over your debts. I've already explained the difference between investing and speculating, and now it's time to distinguish between controlled and excessive debt and between good and bad debt. These concepts are fundamental to achieving financial freedom. For example, an investor is leveraged in a controlled manner when they have $100,000 and borrow $90,000 from the bank for a real estate investment. In this case, the debt is under control. On the other hand, a person is excessively indebted when they have only $10,000 and borrow $90,000 to invest in a house. In this scenario, any problem with the property or an increase in interest rates can lead to financial difficulties. So, you are leveraged in a controlled manner when you have debt under control, know the difference between fixed and variable interest rates, and calculate different interest rate scenarios. You are excessively indebted when the debt exceeds your ability to pay, and you do not consider the different possible scenarios. Good debt is used to invest in income-generating assets, such as an apartment that produces monthly rent. Bad debt is used to buy something that loses value over time and does not contribute to your financial freedom, such as using a credit card to travel. Therefore, leveraging wisely to acquire good debt is positive, while getting excessively indebted to obtain bad debt will never bring prosperity. Debt is a financial instrument that can ruin you if used incorrectly, but can accelerate your path to financial freedom if used correctly. Do you agree? Number 9. Diversify your investments. Do not put all your resources in one place. It's risky to rely on just one type of investment for your financial freedom. Diversifying is crucial. It's essential to spread the risk and not concentrate all your bets on a single option. All financial assets go through ups and downs. This year, the stock market may fall, tomorrow gold may rise, or next year bonds may appreciate. As we've already mentioned, no one can predict the future with certainty. Therefore, it's best to spread your investments across different types of assets. You can vary between financial instruments, economic sectors, or currencies. The possibilities are many. This way, you avoid facing a difficult period, seeing your earnings and assets decrease drastically. Number 10. It is advisable to keep part of your capital in foreign banks. This is not illegal, as we are talking about money that has already been declared. Why is this advisable? Simply because, in case of problems, the government of your country cannot access your savings. Keeping part of your capital abroad provides protection against deposit confiscation and institutional or financial crises, such as bank freezes. This may seem complex and accessible only to a few, but that's not the case. Simple ways to take your capital out of your country include opening an account with a foreign broker or making a bank deposit in another country. There are several legal ways to transfer money abroad, and they are often not expensive. Number 11. Planning. The importance of building a portfolio that can withstand economic crises. You should diversify your investment portfolio with assets that can withstand difficult periods in the economy, thus protecting yourself against adverse economic events. Let's consider 4 simple examples to illustrate. For example, when renting a property, you run the risk of tenant default and possible damage to the property. To minimize these risks, you can take out insurance against default and damage, ensuring that the rent continues to be paid and damages are covered in case of problems. Another example is defensive stocks, which are publicly listed companies that tend to maintain or even increase their profits in times of crisis or uncertainty. Even in a bad economy, people will still need to buy medicines and food. 2 traditionally defensive sectors are food and pharmaceuticals, among others. It is important to note that they are not completely immune to downturns, but in periods of market downturns, losses are usually smoother, and in some cases, profits can even increase. Another example is the debt of stable countries. Many issue 10-year bonds with fixed interest rates. For example, if you invest in a 10-year bond with a 4% interest rate, you will receive this rate annually, regardless of stock market fluctuations or temporary crises. Although the return on these bonds may not be the highest at the time of investment, They are often considered one of the safest options. Number 12. It is crucial to keep a portion of your liquid capital. Thus, in times of crisis, you will have resources to acquire undervalued stocks, strengthening your portfolio with assets bought at advantageous prices. As I mentioned before, crises can be seen as opportunities, as it is in these moments that good investment opportunities arise. These are some examples of assets that bring security to your portfolio, even if they sacrifice a bit of profitability. But with this type of investment, you have the guarantee of a steady income in times of uncertainty. Number 13. The importance of thinking before acting, that is, having an investment plan. This plan is the set of strategies that will help you achieve your medium and long-term financial goals. A well-developed financial plan provides discipline on the journey to financial freedom, avoiding impulsive decisions based on misinformation. In short, having a financial plan is like having a map that directs your steps towards your goals, preventing deviations. The second advantage is that it drives us to set specific and, above all, achievable goals. For example, if we want a monthly income of $5,000 in dividends, which represents $60,000 annually, and the average dividend return in your country is 5%, you will need to invest $1,200,000. So the main question is, can you accumulate that amount, and what sacrifices will be necessary to gather that sum? If it's not possible, it's time to reassess your financial goals, at least in the short term. The third advantage is that having an investment plan significantly boosts your financial education. Drawing up a plan, even if it's not put into practice, requires you to consider all possible variables in terms of investment, from taxation to asset choice, market analysis, and financial management. Therefore, planning our investments expands our economic horizons and deepens our financial knowledge. This is crucial. Thus, a financial plan provides us with discipline, helps us set realistic goals, and advances our financial education. These are the three main advantages, but there are many others, as you can imagine. Number 14. And the last piece of advice, perhaps one of the most significant, is that investing isn't everything. You should live and enjoy both the process of managing your money, which I love, and using that capital to have a fulfilling life. Remember Aesop's fable that I mentioned at the beginning? Money should be a tool, not a final goal. It brings comfort, security, and above all, experiences. So, enjoy the benefits you achieve on the path to financial freedom. Don't have a tedious and routine existence. Life is more than just accumulating wealth. Don't let your financial goals make you forget other aspects of life. Remember that the present time will never return, and the people who are with you now may not be there in the future. Enjoy the money you earn before reaching your financial goals. Take that dream trip, expand your horizons, buy that piece of clothing you like, dine out with your partner or friends, buy the car you desire. Don't regret spending the money from your investments. You deserve it. Life is short, and there are people so poor that they only have money. Live experiences and use money to grow as a person. Invest in your education, enjoy time with your family and friends, enjoy life while you can. Look to the future, but don't forget to live in the present. These are the 14 best investment tips for all levels. Tell me which of these tips you like the most and which you think is most important to start your journey to financial freedom. Leave your opinion in the comments.